but it's hard. And it's lonely. It's very lonely. I just know that if that loneliness can exist, so can other things.
Is Rachel Zegler cursed? Or is she simply a rotten fruit in Hollywood's fruit basket? The Snow White controversy is not the first that have followed in the wake of Rachel Zegler. In fact, her previous 2 movies also had their fair share of rumors, speculation, and controversies. And guess what? They also had very poor performances at the box office. Seeing a pattern here yet? First is West Side Story. And although she received a Golden Globe Award for her performance, there was rumors and speculation surrounding it. At first, she did not get an invitation to the Academy Awards. She complains, and suddenly she gets a last-minute invite. And an award, we can only speculate as to how that came to be. There were also a controversy regarding the male lead Ansel Elgort, when he was accused of inappropriate or sexual misconduct. And rumors started to swirl if this is happening again, as she seemed to distance herself from him in public. Although she did not react to this, in this case the silence might have had more consequences than expected, and the bad PR did no favors to box office performance. Second is Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Although nothing truly conspiratory happened during filming, the movie also had extremely poor performance at the box office, and although it is reported that the entire cast stood together in defending the film, some fans picked up some tension between Rachel Zegler and the male lead, which lead to more rumors to spiral out of control in the wake of another movie that failed at the box office. And then we have the latest debacle of Snow White. I am sure you have heard quite a bit about this one, but believe me or not, the speculations, controversies, and rumors keep getting juicier as more and more gets uncovered. Let's see what the latest details reveal.
Just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White. She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
From Disney's Golden Girl to one of Hollywood's most controversial actresses, what the hell happened to Rachel Zegler? She landed one of the most iconic roles of all time, Snow White. But instead of becoming a fairy tale queen, she sparked one of the most chaotic PR disasters in Disney's history. The movie bombed, the fans turned, and even her co-stars allegedly want nothing to do with her. Now rumors say Disney's scrambling behind the scenes, desperate to cut ties, and Rachel might be lawyering up. This is the wild downfall of Rachel Zegler, and how she may have torched her own career in real time. Let's get into it.
It's on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird. Cast a guy in the movie, right. Andrew Burnap. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby. I'm a narcissist.
Right out the gate, Rachel Zegler raised eyebrows, and not in a good way. In a promo interview, she slammed the original 1937 Snow White, saying it focused too much on a love story with, quote, a guy who literally stalks her. Yeah, she called Prince Charming a creep. Disney's whole brand is built on nostalgic magic, but Rachel was tossing that legacy into the trash compactor. She made it very clear, this version wasn't about love, and she was too good for a fairy tale romance. Even her co-star Andrew Burnap wasn't safe. She basically dismissed his entire character, hinting that all his scenes could be cut. And this was during the press tour, before the movie even dropped. But that was just the first red flag.
And we part with this video of Rachel Zegler alone in a theater watching herself.
When Snow White hit theaters, it hit hard, as in face-planting into box office oblivion. Opening weekend was already underwhelming, but in week 2, it dropped a brutal 66%, officially earning the title of worst second-week drop of any Disney live-action remake ever. Worse than Dumbo. And that movie had an elephant with depression. Snow White quickly became one of the lowest-rated Disney films on IMDb. The reviews were brutal. Critics hated it. Fans were confused. And the backlash was instant. But the real kicker? People started filming themselves going to the theater. And the theaters were empty. Row after row of seats, completely deserted. It became a whole trend. Spot the Rachel Zegler fan. Spoiler. There were none. In what might be the most cursed PR move of the year, Rachel Zegler decided to go see her own movie. She brought her friends. They rolled up excited. Cameras out. It was supposed to be a cute moment of support. But when they walked into the theater, crickets. No audience. No buzz. Just Rachel's name on screen, and a sea of empty seats. Her friend posted it on Instagram, probably thinking, support. Instead, it went viral for all the wrong reasons. People were roasting her in the comments. Girl, even your own movie doesn't want to see you. And that viral moment just poured gasoline on the fire.
If I'm going to stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it...
As the backlash mounted, the Disney machine went into emergency mode. Execs reportedly hated how Rachel was handling the press tour. From the off-brand interviews to the constant political rants, rumors started flying that Disney was trying to cut her loose. Some reports even claim she was considering a lawsuit for wrongful termination and discrimination. Meanwhile, the press tour got mysteriously cut short. Red carpet appearances were canceled. Disney suddenly seemed less interested in promoting the star of their $270 million film. It was giving damage control, and Rachel was the damage.
That my name is Gal, and I'm Jewish, and we have had enough of Jew hate.
But the most explosive controversy was yet to come. In August 2024, right as the new Snow White trailer dropped, Rachel Zegler took to X, Twitter, and posted a message supporting Palestine. Now, politics is already a minefield in Hollywood. But here's the kicker: Gal Gadot, who played the evil queen in the film, is Israeli. And not just in a cultural sense, she actually served in the Israeli military. That post did not go over well behind the scenes. Suddenly, Gal Gadot was receiving threats. Security was ramped up. And Disney had to step in, sending producers to Rachel's location for a face-to-face. Word is, execs were furious she used the movie's promo cycle to stir up such divisive messaging. Her relationship with Gal? Completely shattered. Gal didn't even show up to the European premiere. Disney had to hold two separate promotional events, one with Gal, one with Rachel. Yeah, it was that bad.
Andrew Burnap, all of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
And while Rachel was making enemies with Gal, things weren't looking much better for her co-star Andrew Burnap. Initially, Andrew was hyped. He thought this was his big break. He gave interviews about how excited he was to be in the movie, said it felt like a dream role. But Rachel, she publicly downplayed his character, mocked the romance angle, and made it sound like he was irrelevant to the plot. Even before the film dropped, insiders say Rachel's attitude made it clear. She didn't see Andrew, or the original story, as worth defending. It was a cold Hollywood gut punch. And Andrew, who had stayed respectful the whole time, allegedly started distancing himself fast. Just when you thought things couldn't get worse, enter Donald Trump. Rachel went full throttle on Instagram, calling Trump and his supporters a deep, deep sickness, accusing them of subscribing to false masculinity and fake patriotism. Then she topped it off with a bold F Donald Trump. Now, whether you agree with her or not, it was a marketing disaster. Disney was already struggling to sell this movie to families. And now one of their lead stars just told half the country not to come. MAGA Twitter exploded. Boycotts were threatened. Petitions were signed. Disney was once again in full meltdown mode. They flew out the movie's producer again to get Rachel under control. After all that, she finally issued an apology. I let my emotions get the best of me. Hatred and anger have caused us to move further away from peace and understanding. I am sorry I contributed to the negative discourse. But for a lot of fans and execs, the damage was already done. After the PR disasters, the empty theaters, the political controversies, and the co-star drama, Disney had to ask the hard question. Is Rachel Zegler worth the chaos? Insiders say Disney is already scouting potential replacements for Snow White. The reboot may be paused. And Rachel? She's gone completely quiet, likely at the strong suggestion of her legal team or a crisis PR firm. Behind the scenes, Disney execs are reportedly done. They sunk over $270 million into this movie, only to have its lead actress sabotage the rollout from the inside. And while she's still young and talented, it's unclear if Hollywood will hand her another big role anytime soon. Rachel Zegler's fall from grace is a masterclass in how not to handle fame. From throwing shade at Disney's legacy, to alienating fans, co-stars, and execs. It's like she hit every PR landmine on purpose. Now she's left with a tanked movie, a ruined brand, and a very long road to redemption. But what do you think? Is this the end of Rachel's fairy tale? Or just a brutal plot twist? Drop your thoughts in the comments, And if you want to see who Disney is eyeing to replace her, check out our next video. It's a name you won't expect,